Hello, 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 and I suppose welcome back, yeah? This is just a quick second video that I should have enough time to lay down before I gotta head off on my own business. This is where we left off at 9 o'clock in the morning, with exactly 6 kills, not 4. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, we had made a few leather vests, and for our troubles, we are now equipped to run from that. And what do I do now? Typically, I would say run out of town. I guess I could, like, check a parking lot, examine some of the roads, but I don't think there's gonna be too much that survived. Just because the zombies, they're everywhere, man. So, out of town and away from that seems the best way. You're going to want to try to get yourself a vehicle as soon as possible, even if you don't have all the right parts to make it go. So that means you should be checking most, if not all, of the vehicles. The requirements for the vehicles have changed a little, but they're largely the same as 0.C. The most important part is that it has wheels and it has a control. Now, they don't have to be green and perfect. They can be any color as long as they're not gray or missing. The next is the gas tank. The gas tanks will be leaking if they're yellow or below. There seems to be some cutoff in the middle of yellow, which is a damaged 1 bar in your inventory. But, you know, each vehicle part has an HP that it keeps and maintains, independent of what you see in your inventory. So, anyway, they'll be leaking gas, but they're not unusable. It just, you have to accommodate that. And with the increased gas expenditure, you really want to be sure you want to be driving a leaky vehicle. The next thing you need is obviously a seat. If there's no seat in the driver's seat, you're not going anywhere. Don't know why. The next thing you want to check out is the engine. If the engine is faulty, it's not an immediate no-go, but it's something you should probably take into consideration. In fact, I would say don't mess with it. But aside from that, you also have to consider its condition. If it's in a better condition, it's going to be guaranteed to turn on. If it's in a worse condition, there's chances that it'll turn off, won't start at first, or you'll have to try several times, and worst, you might actually have to use more batteries to get it going. It's not a no-go, but it's really a discouraging factor. The next is the alternator and the battery itself. The alternator, you want it in good condition so it can charge the battery. The battery, yellow or below, just like fields or gas tanks, will leak charge if they are not kept in good condition, and worse, I heard you can't repair them anymore. So I don't know anything about that, but you definitely want to be careful. This vehicle isn't going to go anywhere, or at least I wouldn't put my money on it. And besides, there's a little crowd there hanging out, having fun. I don't want to have fun with them. So I'll use my towel. I'm dry already. So why am I happy? Unhappy. Okay. Okay, we don't want anything to do with them, so we will skirt right along the edge. Those dark howlers, one of my boys had made, and yeah, they ambushed one of my other characters recently. 6 of them came out of the dark as I was leaving one of these towns. It was pretty incredible. I was actually proud of them. They're annoying. That and those giant rattlesnakes will try to do a number on you, and they can do a number on an early game player. Do not want to mess with them if you can help it. Okay. So just stay away from Mr. Snick and stay away from Mr. Zombie. Mr. Cougar is going to distract that child, so let's not piss him off before they get happy. Yep. And then besides that, let's see. Nobody can see us. You can see us. Let's keep going. So what I want to do is I want to pick these shrubs to get my survival up to 1. And with 1 survival, I can start moving along. It's pretty entertaining. Let me just turn that off. I don't know if you saw that. Extra noise I do not need. It's distracting me from talking. As you can see, the world is vibrant, but I think I've done a pretty good job keeping all of the critters from being too dangerous or too weak or any of that nonsense. And now I'm going to beat this pig over the head till it dies. And butcher the remains. No. That fire is going to scare off those cougars who would otherwise probably get bold at some point. No, we don't want them getting bold. Not because they're a threat at the moment, but because there's an extra thing I just don't want to deal with. So, well, we're not going to make a pointy stick. We're going to cut up a stick, grab some splintered wood. Okay. Eat the spam. What am I heavy for? Oh, we could drop you. I just need 1. Thank you. So, with that, we can ignore all the little critters that get upset about life. Stay away from the fire. You should know it goes out about 3 tiles. So if you stay more than 3 tiles away, you should be okay unless something else is flammable. In the daytime, that works fine. At night, it's probably not going to work out so well. Take that for what it is, man. I don't want to drop anything. Hang on. I can wear the shotgun. That'll be fine. The raccoon's fine. He's just hanging out. And we begin our inevitable walk. You see those deers? They're hanging out in a group. They've recently added that as a feature again. Something was wrong with the way that the code translated packs of animals with a minimal size of 1, and they ended up all being 1. And that's been fixed. And I've noticed a change, and I don't like it necessarily, but it happens. So it's what it is. I mostly ignore all the critters because I have no interest in them. Kill them and eat them, but I don't have the space for that stuff. Like before, I want to make sure I'm regularly plied with alcohol. And avoid things like wasps, although I do have the shotgun, and that will do more than enough. Hey, nope. I see you. I don't want nothing to do with you, although a sling would do a fine job. If you get scared out here in the woods, your best bet is preemptively light a fire, and then kite things over there. Yeah, you see him? He's been bad. And now he's fixed. Ooh, okay. You just want to be aware of your surroundings, like that cougar. He's gonna come down here. You just want to stay away from him. I tried. Let him come to you. Just be careful and... Yeah, he saw what's up. He's good. Nothing wrong with the woods. It's not a very scary place. There's nothing happening with it. There's nothing happening with that either. But then again, diesel trucks, I don't understand what they did and why they decided it was a good idea to make them not able to leave third gear. You understand that diesel trucks have more than 3 gears, typically. I mean, they're not steam engines. I don't know. A lot of people don't like the vehicle changes. I think they'll be fine once we get our stuff together. That's really the problem. A lot of pigs over here. I don't know what that's for. But again, just be aware of which creature is where and what creature is in between you and upset animals. See the dogs? They went after each other? Upset animals. That mole. I don't know. I'm not terribly fond of the moles. But as a critter who just is a weak attacker, it's exactly what I want out of them. So they do their thing. They hide, which is nice too, because the giant maggots and the flying butterflies and things, they hide, they go up and down Z levels, they dig. You don't see them unless you're right next to them. It's nice because it creates this world that's alive, but that you don't see unless you look for it. It adds a layer of complexity, or at least it looks like complexity if you just casually glance at it. Which is about the best we can do. You see that down there? I wasn't looking, but there is a Kraken. So we can get our handy-dandy shotgun out and do that. And go see what he was playing with. While we're here, we may as well start leveling up this survival skill. It takes a little bit of time, and I'm not going to deny that. It's one of those things where you really should have a good morale. But what are you going to do? I'm not taking herbs. There's not really much in these woods that I expect to find that's going to be useful to me in my situation. But I do need the skill. So, now, Migos are just about the only dangerous thing you'll find at these sites. You'll find Hilligdrones, I guess that's a lie. You'll find cyborg cops and whoever's. So, yeah, but the Grex, they're erratic. Yes, I see you. They're erratic, but they're not dangerous. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you after wasting all that ammo. Jerk. So, yes, the Migos are the only dangerous thing you'll find at these kind of sites. The Grex, they're too erratic to be really dangerous. Ooh. Yes. The worst of them is the Migos, and I've added a flying Migo. Not that it makes much sense to most of the people, because, you know, Migo is a Migo is a Migo. It doesn't matter if it can fly or not. But it's something. That wolf isn't going to come after me. You see the fire? It's going to scare him away, even though he's not looking at it or facing it. That one, though. Yes. Yes. Jackass. So, yes. The Migo... Flying Migo is not a big deal, it's just scarier. That's what I like to think. I haven't really decided what I want to do with most of those guys. Because I don't want to mess with the nether critters as much as I do like some of these critters are sci-fi or whatever. The mutations, but they're not Lovecraftian. I don't add those. I don't have a fascination with Lovecraft the way others do. So it's what it is. We're gonna have to drop some of these leather vests. I'm okay with one. I'm not okay with two. Yes. And I might have to drop the raincoat, I'm thinking. And Well, the rest of it can hang out and play some stuff. I won't say it's not worth it, because this was a good haul for me. A baseball bat is always worth it. I didn't have to shotgun the wolves. I don't want to give the impression that wolves are incredibly dangerous. They're dangerous. Oh yes, in a pack they can certainly shred a survivor. Even one-on-one, they could give me a good run for their money. Than my money. In my current condition. Especially encumbered like I am. But I just didn't want to deal with them. It's not a big deal. Because as you look, there's no zombies coming. I don't understand when people say, oh, the zombies are hordes, or... They're not, though. They're not coming, they're not here, they're not coming to get me. I can't find where my survival is. Is it there? Here it is, 119. Fantastic. And with survival 1, I could do a lot of things like make a knife spear, or make a balaclava to train my level 2 tailoring that I have level 1 right now, but it's good preparation, and it's good to have, and you can start getting decent butcher returns. I don't have a lot of dexterity, and that limits a lot of what this character can do. He's never going to be amazing at anything, because dexterity just means everything to this game. It's always meant a lot to a lot of games like this that rely on numbers. High dexterity keeps you mobile, and seen as you're the single-man army, the protagonist, being mobile is important, because there can always be critters that are stronger than you. These bees. Speaking of critters who can be stronger, I don't know how many of you have messed with the bees yet. I've added 3 kinds of standard bee, whose name is bee. One of them is the same as the regular bee. One of them is faster, and one of them is stronger. The strong one is aggressive. It is actively aggressive. But the other 2 versions, not as aggressive. You can still take them off pretty easy, and they don't like you getting close to them. They don't like their homes, their friends getting hurt, things like that, but getting close to them is pretty hard to do if you're paying attention. I mean, look at me. I just walked through how many dozens of critters hanging out on each side of me, and I'm doing pretty good. I told you, if you start to get worried that something's going to follow you, you could preemptively light a fire. So as long as you have a match, you should be able to keep most things away from you. Where am I? I mean, I don't like being out in the woods all day. Especially because I'm doing this video instead of playing on my own. It's kind of boring. Hang on 1 second. The bear, I saw him, which is fine. I'm going to light a fire, and I'm going to hang out by the fire. I'm going to yell a little. He's going to be like, oh, I got a bear. And he's okay. He's having fun. He's having fun. He's gonna play Ring Around the Rosie with me. Okay, yeah, see, crisis is over. And that's all it was. Which bear was he? Yeah, see, he was the most aggressive and powerful one anyway. So, I heard a few people said they got mauled by bears. That's how you deal with a bear. You light a fire. First of all, you recognize him coming. Then you run away. Then you light a fire. You see that right there? Don't go anywhere near those things. They're craters, and I'm sure you know that already. And I'm sure they're super scary. But that's where a lot of radiation... You could drive through that and end up with radiation sickness. Don't mess with them. It looks like we're coming up to some pretty intense combat here, if I'm looking at it right. I have the shotgun, and I have a sling. The sling is not going to help against things like a wasp. It'll bounce right off the carapace. But, I mean, the sling is still useful for a lot of the smaller critters who just don't seem to understand that the big guys can step on them. In all fairness, we do a pretty bad job stepping on them, so maybe it's not completely unfounded. Now, some time ago, I'm not sure when, they had changed the rules regarding what is clean and what is dirty water, the percentage chances. Essentially, there's toilet water, there's shallow water, and then there's deep water. And toilet water was like an 85% chance of being contaminated and getting sick off of it if you drank it. The shallow water was something like 60, and the deep water was like 20. They changed that to a much higher percentage. So I'm going to have a drink. Do not be surprised if I start to vomit up my contents, yes. And there you go, food poisoning. At one point I tried to make multiple intensities of that, but it just didn't go for that. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're going to have ourselves a delicious drink. And we're going to read a little bit of Under the Hood while we let this food poisoning go away. No reason to mess with it and tempt the devil. My body aches. Now that could be because of the food poisoning. It could also be because of a few, intestinal parasites or anything. They happen. But what are you going to do? Yes, you'll notice I didn't try to eat anything after that. You don't want to. Just do a little bit of reading and see what happens. Now, if you're worried about acid rain or anything, your best bet is to get a car as soon as possible, to have raincoats, to have an umbrella, or to carry around a tent or something. You could probably do the makeshift tents things, and I would be really happy if the game let you dig a foxhole of some kind. But, Okay, we don't need to do it all at once, and I don't plan to. I don't need to heal, therefore I don't worry about the sleep. Because I'm an insomniac, I can expect not to be able to go to sleep even if I am tired. There's a threshold that can be crossed, and I've gotten good at ballparking it, but that's what you carry cough syrup for. That's what you carry all manner of things. Ambien. I like Ambien. Big fan of Ambien. But, a lot of opossums. See, some of this stuff is still new to me, and the opossums being bloody everywhere is a result of them changing the code of pack sizes and how that functioned. They fixed it, don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean that, it's not different. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Aspirin, can't go wrong with aspirin. I don't think enough people utilize aspirin. It's only hi. It's only a few pain points, but it ends up being worth it. There we go. Kraken, they're not very deadly. I mean, they do a lot of damage in the raw, but not compared to some of the other critters that are out there. Jerk. And they're too focused on grabbing and then running away, because their code is hit and run, and they can also grab. So if they grab you instead of strike you, that's good for you. Okay. Yes, I want to eat it. We just want to keep going down the pain train over here. We may as well make another towel while I'm out. No, we need more than that, please. Oh, you're gonna make me hate myself. Okay, Okay. Not a big deal. No. Plenty of leather patches, alright. Yes, I want to do that. No. Probably shouldn't have done that. Yes. That's good, because apparently I did something wrong. I just want to make a silly... There we go, a towel. Why was that so hard? Because I need 5 rags. when I need to make him. I can't find the stuff, but why is it too dark? Oh, I'm too low to craft because I'm wet. Which is why I need to make a towel, ironically. I'm kind of hit and miss with that. It happens a lot more with, like, alcohol. Oh boy, yeah, this guy has a hissy fit about alcohol. Can I cargo shorts? Yes. So we're going to make some cargo shorts, which is going to refit them and repair them. So it's a net gain for me. And I'm okay with that. I would rather not waste the time here. But I do have a flashlight, so it's not like it's a complete total waste of time. Wilderness survival for a city folk? Not so bad. No. You're gonna make me hate myself. Come here. Thank you. Just let me have my piece. Yes. Animals. Filthy animals. So, there we have it. This is usually what I do when I don't find a car and I don't have a great city to hang out around. I take a walk into the woods. The sun's gonna go down in about an hour. It's raining, and the risk of acid rain is very real, as well as being mauled by any number of things. We're next to a river, and rivers are not entirely safe, nor are they inhabited by solely aquatic things. So I would recommend you take it easy around them, lest a zombie snapping crocodile monster thing find you. And boy can they hurt. Boy can they hurt. Okay, so leather belt. I've had a few people complain that nothing to do, you can do it. I added this into the core game a while ago. You put your sling and slingshot in there. It's a nice thing. You can draw it out quickly. It's not meant to be something fancy, but it could easily be expanded. It's really up to the people who mod. Things that you can put in there are like small tools or something, but nobody does it. So it doesn't get done. The thing about this game is it's open source. There's not one person who works on this. So if you wanted something done, instead of making a thread or complaining on Reddit or whatever the case may be, maybe you should just do it yourself and see what happens. It's typically the message that people hear, but nobody ever seems to want to do it. Or at least nobody who doesn't regularly already do it. Which is what it is. So let's see what we got going on here. I am getting chilly all over, and that's only going to get worse. Now, is it wet? Am I wet? I am wet, but it's snowing, so I can use a towel and I can fix that. I'm cold on the hand. I can't fix that. Now, I have no clue what's ahead of me. Apparently, water. Blindly fumbling through the dark. This is something I do a frustratingly common amount of time. It's oops kind of thing. I mean, there's not much to do. I could try going to sleep, but there's really not much sleeping to be done. In the cold, in the rain, with all kinds of fun critters. Gosh darn it. Aye, aye. I didn't want a swamp. That was the one thing I didn't want. Swamps aren't nearly as dangerous as they used to be. But that doesn't... fuck me. That doesn't make them, nice or good places to hang out. And, at night, giant slugs hang out, and they will still maul you quite happily. So I would suggest you would let them pass unbothered. It's just what you do. But back in the day, I remember slugs used to be scary. Of course, I didn't know how to play quite as well as I do now, but I rarely even find them now unless I go out looking for them, because they're only at night now. And I didn't really do much to them. Didn't really make them better. There's no reason to, but I did add other things into the swamp, like snail men and stuff. There's a lot of neat little guys in this game that the game just doesn't use. Because everyone's adding all these things, nobody really has ownership over one and really executes their ideas as well as they could. So, you know. How we doing? The temperature's gone back up. I am still cold as everything. Here we go. And now I have an empty bottle to play with. If I didn't know any better, I'd say I'm approaching a bridge. Not going to help me since I don't have a battery. But it is nice to know there's a bridge, because bridges usually mean we're getting closer to civilization, and we have been going for quite a while. I walked all of that, guys, in one day. With you guys right here. So it's not impossible or hard. And I may just have to end up sleeping on the ground and hoping that nothing bothers me. I wouldn't do it by the river, though. I want to get at least 3 tiles away from the river. Ooh, swimmer zombie. Look at you being a guy. Bat, 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 bat. I don't bother butchering corpses. It's mostly a waste of time, in my opinion. A cop car with no battery. So if I could find a battery with enough charge, this little guy will a-go-go. Yeah, that's a quick save button. This is where I'm going to let you go for the night. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Yes, save. When you travel long distances without saving, the game takes up more memory, and therefore you could have yourself some issues. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to see you again when the sun comes up, okay? Howdy ho, guys. I am back just to show you that an antlered whore found me, and he's going to come through this. It's probably not going to be good for the car, which I was hoping to use. There we are. Oh, well, that's a fine shame. Can you die? Can you die? Can you die? Can you die? Thank you. And he's there. Smashy, smashy. And hopefully we're good. See you guys again.